Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here, so it's time for another episode of a movie that didn't need a sequel. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to cover this time an example of a Christmas movie which, in my opinion, did not need a sequel. I'm better off staying as a standalone movie. And this is also a film that got released onto Netflix as well in 2018. And this film, which I think did not need a sequel, is none other than, of course, The Christmas Chronicles. So, you guys are probably going to be asking me, what do I think of this film? Well, I think it's really good, and I saw it last year before Christmas, and I thought it was a very good movie. I think Kurt Russell was an amazing casting as Santa Claus, and I think as well, the two children being Kate and Teddy Pierce were also good characters too. I especially think Teddy Pierce's development in the film was really good too, because he started off being a little bit unlikable, but I love how as the film progresses, he becomes more and more likable. So he had very good development, in my opinion. And Kate Pierce was a great protagonist as well in this. And I think the story was pretty good too as well, in my opinion. And I had a lot of fun watching it. So, on the topic of why I think this film did not need a sequel, so the film has a really good ending because when, of course, when, of course, Kate and Teddy return home, they find that their living room has been decorated just like how their father used to do it, and when they open their gifts on Christmas morning, they get what they want. So, and Teddy gets an ornament, and when he hangs it on the tree, he sees his father appear magically in it, his reflection. So, that was definitely a very touching moment, in my opinion, and we also get a scene back in the North Pole where Santa reunites with Mrs. Claus, who is actually played by Kurt Russell's real life partner, Goldie Hawn, who has come home, and she asks what film they're going to watch, and Santa takes out the video that Kate filmed of their entire adventure, and he smiles. So right there, they gave a great ending to the children and to Santa. I did not see any signs of sequel setups whatsoever. However, though, 2 years later, we unfortunately got a sequel, and this, of course, was released in late 2020. We once again released onto Netflix on November 25th after a limited theatrical run. And that film, of course, was none other than 2020's The Christmas Chronicles 2. Compared to the first film, which I really liked, I personally hated the sequel. I thought it was absolutely rubbish, in my opinion, compared to the really good first movie. So what I think was really rubbish about this was that, obviously, of course, in my opinion, it had no reason to exist whatsoever. I was very disappointed that they did a sequel to it, and of course, this sequel, in my opinion, was absolutely rubbish compared to a really good first movie. I could not believe what happened with this. If I was to think of anything positive about it, then I guess maybe that Kurt Russell is still good as Santa, I guess, and I think Goldie Hawn was also decent with what she was given as well, as Mrs. Claus as well, and I did also as well really like the scene where Santa gets to sing with Darlene Love, because she's one of my favourite singers of all time, and seeing her in this film making a cameo appearance and singing was definitely really great, and yeah, she's an absolute legend, always will be. And I guess as well that Darby Camp is still good as Kate as well. And for what it's also worth, Judah Lewis was also good once again, returning as Teddy as well. But when it comes to this sequel, the main reason why I hated it was mainly because of the villain. The villain, in my opinion, was just absolutely pathetic. And, of course, that was a character called Bells Nickel, who is an elf adopted by Santa, who goes rogue and ended up human. And I really did not like Bells Nickel at all, because he was just so bland and lifeless. I was really not a fan of the character at all. Just absolutely pathetic, in my opinion. And also as well, what I thought was also stupid was also how Teddy is also hardly in the movie, because he only appears at the beginning and the end. So I really hated how he underused him. Especially because I really liked his development in the first movie. I was hoping we'd get more of him in this film, but we didn't. So, he didn't appear, which I was very disappointed about. So I don't understand why I had to do this at all. And the film, in my opinion, got boring in many areas too as well, because it just simply wasn't needed, and I think it was just really boring. So I guess I could put this film on the naughty list, because in my opinion, it was not a good film at all. It was very terrible compared to the good first movie. Like, you have a very bad villain who is just absolutely pathetic and lifeless, and a boring story. And also, as well, of course, underusing one of the main characters from the first movie. And I also felt bad for Tyrese Gibson wasting his time in this film as well as a character called Bob Booker. I mean, he was fine when he was given involved, but I feel he was a bit wasted in my opinion. I feel pretty bad for Tyrese Gibson. And we as well get his son in this called Jack, played by Jazier Bruno, who basically is the replacement for Teddy, who goes on the adventures with Kate. So, like, really? Why couldn't he go with her and Teddy? Why leave Teddy behind? Yeah, that's just absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So I really do feel that it really messed up a lot by doing this. Like, yeah, this sequel, in my opinion, was so messed up compared to the really good first movie. And when it comes, of course, to the future, if they by any chance do a third movie, then I am not going to watch it. I don't see why I should at all, because this sequel, in my opinion, was very disappointing on so many levels compared to the really good first movie. And yeah, I'm not going to watch it, guys. I'm not interested in the slightest. Because this sequel, in my opinion, was not needed, and it totally killed any interest I'd have in watching any more films, to be honest. Because it was just so disappointing, in my opinion, on so many levels. In the meantime, guys, all I'm ever going to do when it comes to watching the films is I will only stick to the original movie on Netflix. Just that film alone. And I'll definitely not be watching the sequel ever again. Unless I one day do it for a trash talk, of course. Which I would definitely love to do, of course. Because this film definitely deserves all the ranting it can get. Because I think it's absolutely rubbish, in my opinion. So anyway, guys. This is me doing in the next episode of the movie didn't need a sequel on why, in my opinion, the Christmas Chronicles did not need a sequel. So, as far as I'm concerned, guys, there can only be one Christmas Chronicles film. Just one alone. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to tell me in the comments what you guys think of the Christmas Chronicles. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments below what you think. Do we need a sequel on it? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe and ways coming in the future. If you would like to be a member, you can press on using a PC Live or your description, and I'll see you all later.